How I lost over 100 pounds twice. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would share this with you guys and gals. Because this is one of the things that people struggle with. This seems to be, for most people out there, the single hardest, biggest struggle with fitness goal is, if you are very overweight, is losing the weight and keeping it off. Now, I will say, people say, but you didn't keep it off. You regained it a decade later. Yes, I did. I regained it 10 years later. Okay, but I do want to state for the record, it was easier to lose it the second time. And I didn't regain it because my lifestyle changed. I regained it because I got really sick. I had to spend time in bed. I became completely disabled. I became depressed due to my medical issues and a history of depression. People were bringing me lots of junk food to comfort me. And so I pretty much had kind of almost given up on life. So I want to be clear on that second one. It wasn't just, hey, it just came back on because I made some choices. It was a case of my entire life completely fell apart. A medical issue knocked me down and I lost it, but then I got back up. Like I gained it and I lost it again. I got back up and I lost it. All right. And I'm going to give people a real hard truth here. As someone who's been through this experience twice, and then look how I look now. I'm almost 50. Right? Look at the body I have at this age as someone who's been morbidly obese. Right? I'm going to give people the answer they don't want, the answer they need. Okay, because this is what this comes down to. This is what it comes down to. I could lie to you. I could say I have a gimmick that I'll sell you. I have a gimmick I'll sell you. I'll sell you the magic secret. Make a bunch of money and then people don't get their results. Instead, I'm going to show that I love you and that I want you to succeed. And that means I got to give some tough love. The tough love, there are no shortcuts. There's no magic secrets. Not if you really want to keep it off. It takes a lifestyle change. Okay, and that's what it's going to take. But here's what I'm also going to tell you. All right, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this with love. I'm going to say it with love and with compassion. It takes lifestyle change and it's hard, but you can do it. Okay? But in order to do it, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to do it. And I think that's the hard part that it comes for a lot of people. Because I think that's the problem. How many of us who, when we got obese, we ate ourselves into those situations because we didn't love ourselves. Okay? Man, that's a tough pill to swallow. Right? It is a form of self-abuse because we didn't love ourselves. For whatever reason. Maybe you were abused. In my case, I was abused. I was abused as a child. Okay? I didn't love myself. I didn't believe I was good enough. All right? Maybe something else bad happened to you. Maybe somebody talked down to you. Maybe your parents, or maybe someone you were with in a relationship, talked you down to the point where you didn't believe in yourself. You didn't love yourself. Maybe you did something bad and you're punishing yourself. Maybe it's not even something someone else did. Maybe it's a case of you did something, made a mistake, a really bad mistake somewhere in life. And maybe it hurt somebody else. Or maybe it caused problems. And then you step back and said, man, I'm a bad person. And you quit loving yourself. Okay, that's a big part of this, and that's kind of step one. If we're going to talk about lifestyle change, because it requires lifestyle change. So I'm going to tell you, 100 pounds of body fat, that's 3,500 calories of energy reserve per pound. Whew, it's 3,500. Right? What's that times 100? Yeah, people start doing the math real quick. And it's like, oh man, that's 350,000 calories. of energy. You got to burn that. And you have to do it while being active and doing other stuff and eating enough to maintain muscle and to function. You can't just starve it off. You know what happens? You lose too much muscle and metabolism slows down. No, you got to burn it. You're going to have to get through it, and that takes time. And because it's so much, if you want to do it right, that's a long-term strategy. And if you mess up, you're going to regain it. Okay? That's a serious commitment. And people say, well, what do you mean? Well, think about it. How often people say, oh, a 1 mile walk or a 1 mile jog burns, maybe 100 calories. All right, you see where we're going? That's like, for long people, if they do the math on that, they're like, that's 35 miles a pound times 100. Man, they're like, I'm gonna have to jog 3,000 miles. That's all the way across the U.S. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to have to learn to love yourself, and that's the thing. If you want to be able to implement those lifestyle changes, because notice I'm not even giving you the strategies here, right? Because until you can get to that point, are those strategies going to help? I can tell you, cut out refined sugar, cut out refined fat, start lifting weights, start walking every day, eat more fiber, eat more protein. Actually, that'll do it. You do those things, that's all. It's guaranteed. If you do those things, 100% success rate, right? That'll do it. But you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because you don't love yourself enough to implement it. So that's where you have to start. There's your starting point, is to step back. My first time it started with self-loathing. I just hated how I looked so much that I was disgusted. But it had to change, because that's not enough to make it all the way to the distance of the end. It starts by stepping back and addressing the trauma, addressing why you don't think you're good enough, addressing why you think you're a bad person. Because until you can do that, and you can be honest with yourself about that, the rest is going to be hard. Because then you have to say, well, if I'm a good person and I love myself, I need to do this. I have to do this. I have to do it for myself. I have to. Because it then proves to you that you love yourself. You have the thought, and then you have the following action. So, are we looking for a magic secret? Secret is you got to learn to love yourself, and you have to love yourself enough to know that what you're doing is harming you and that you don't deserve that. There's your first step. There's your secret. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.